Hey, check it out. There's this steam engine behind me, and I thought I'd show you this because it has an interesting structure to it. It has a pattern that's imitated in life, and I'm trying to find lots of different things that I could show you, a lot of different subjects or objects, just to show the connection, to show that there's something that ties everything together. The same things are happening over and over again. It's an oscillation, this repetitive nature that exists throughout the universe. And I'm trying to show you one instance of it that's prominent and stands out, because that somehow will impress into your brain more intensely and make you kind of realize or waken up to it. And by showing you things, lots of different things, and how they correlate with each other, how they connect, it kind of causes your mind to develop this higher state of awareness or consciousness, and that sort of thing. By showing you these things, such as a steam engine, showing a lot of different interesting concepts or objects that grasp the nature of the universe, it reinforces this idea that it's occurring everywhere. We have all these different things that we believe are separate, but they're actually just imitations or reinventions of this process that's happening around us, happening everywhere through space. There's a little chamber in the steam engine that oscillates from the pressure. The energy pulsates back and forth like our hearts or our lungs expand and contract, moving this energy, this flow of energy. It directs it, okay? But it's a duality concept, a process that occurs. The pulsating oscillation between sides creates a transition, and that's what creates feeling, a pressure. There's a friction between the sides. There's an exchange happening, okay? And it's always passed down. It's always passed down in a line, okay? With the steam engine, you have people putting in energy. There's always a messenger or someone, transmitting the signal or the energy, the space. They're putting coal into it and creating this fire, and the fire's passing on this heat, and this heat's getting the water to boil, and the water is creating this pressure in the air, the steam, and then the steam is passing on more pressure through a valve that causes this chamber to oscillate back and forth, the energy, and that's causing the connected pieces to rotate and cycle and keep, passing this energy, keep channeling it down further and further. It's a process where it recreates itself in a new way, but it's the same thing, just occurring over and over again, right? Just with different pieces involved, making new connections, right? In order for something to work, the energy has to be transferred down into it from somewhere, right? Nothing works on its own, okay? Except for maybe everything, in itself, conceptually speaking, you could categorize everything like the universe as one thing. But imagine that, it's doing everything. But it's doing everything in every possible way. And that's difficult to conceptualize, all right? So we have to take pieces one at a time and build it up so that you can understand the greater picture that's happening, okay? Because we all come from nothing. We all come from a space that has this unchanging way to it, this everlasting way, okay? We come from this space, and over time we pick up details, we pick up new sides of ourselves that we weren't aware of before, right? We get integrated, we get involved We start rotating, cycling within ourselves the energy that's been impressed into us. It's been impressed into us and caused us to change, okay? But we always have this pattern passed down, this way of designing, this way of building, this way of creating, okay? It's in everything. But it's interesting how there's always a barrier, right? Like our skin creates a barrier with the outside and the inside, and that allows the energy to be pressed to create a pressure between one space and another space, right? That pressure, that difference creates this charge, this interference that requires like a transmission, requires a signal to be sent, all right? And through that sending of the signal allows feeling, allows awareness to arise between those sides inside the invisible line, okay? This invisible line is everywhere. It's life, it's awareness, it's consciousness, it's this higher level of being inside everything, and everything has its relative scale of this beingness, okay? The plants, the metallic materials, the atoms, the molecules, everything has it. You need like this protective barrier that kind of keeps your shape, maintains your parts that are, it maintains all the inner workings, right? And prevents it from just becoming distorted or dissolved, right? We have to have this continuance, and that barrier kind of maintains the unit, the system, okay? That's why we have all these sides, these layers, these boxes within boxes, you know, capsules. It's all maintaining something at a different relativity, okay? But it's all connected with space. It's also interesting how the steam engine travels along a track. We all travel along paths. We all have our way of moving, and the platform in which we move on, okay? We're all restricted to move or interact in a specific way based on our design, how we've been built, how we've been, you know, structured to think or act. We all have a track or many tracks, okay? And we try and connect the paths together, the tracks together, because we want this sense of being. We want to be able to move around and see what's out there, what other aspects of ourselves exist that we weren't aware of. And the track's basically just a repeating pattern between the sides, spaces, the oscillating nature. It exists in the actual skeleton, visually, that you can trace, okay? So that's why I'm showing you this. This is just one instance, and the more instances I show, just like a pattern, you know, instance, all have relativity, and the more you become awakened to this actuality that's occurring, right? This process, this real thing that has a deepness to it. It has a real meaning to it. You know, it's not just some object with no meaning, or it just serves a function, right? It serves a really deep function that most people don't realize. They don't realize what they are, or who they are, or what they're supposed to do, right? They're just being told what to do by other people. And they kind of just accept that as if it's the normal thing to do. And yes, it is, but there's a reason why. The reason why that people aren't explaining, in which I'm trying to explain, trying to show, trying to prove through reality, right? All of this isn't just a concept. It has a reality to it. And by going to different places and showing you the actual proof and how it relates on that fundamental structure, the oscillating nature, the duality, the sides, the lines, how they go back and forth, how they repeat. Only by actually doing it and showing it will you begin to realize that what I say is actually true, okay? have to do it. I have to actually do it. I can't just say it. Can't just pass along a message conceptually, because you might not have developed the ability to grasp it. And that's why I have to bring you through it. I have to bring you through the process and show you all the different things and actually get deep into it, create depth, okay? With all the different stimulating senses, with all the different details that stimulate your senses in different ways. You know, making you revolve around this center, this origin point, okay? Where you finally go, oh, now I understand, now I realize that this is actually happening, right? There's more to it that I hadn't realized before. So this is just a beginning, okay? We're on this process, we're on this line, we're traveling through this pattern, okay? And I'm gonna try and bring you more of these interesting patterns, right?